Okay guys, welcome to this Key Stage 4 question bank directed number, large video, from the White Rose Maths, PowerPoint, exam series. So this is aimed at revision for pupils, in Year 11, but it's also appropriate for Key Stage 3 pupils and even Key Stage 2 pupils, so it's quite a big video, so please do grab your pen, your paper and your notepad and dip in and out of this video as and when you need to, This is the first question, so this is question number 1. The table shows the temperature in cities on a day in December. So state the city with the lowest temperature. So the smallest negative number, that will be Glasgow, So Glasgow. So there's my answer for that, Question number 2, the table shows the temperature in cities on a day in December. The temperature in Manchester falls by 5 degrees. State the new temperature or work out the new temperature. So it'll be 1 subtract 5. So 1 take away 5. So that will go into negatives. That'll be minus 4 degrees or negative 4 degrees. For that. This next one, the temperature in Glasgow rises by 7 degrees. Work out the new temperature. So we're starting at minus 3 and we're adding 7. Now with these sums, there are other little tricks you can do. So that's the same, as saying positive 7 subtract 3. That's the same idea. It'll give you the same answer, which is equal to 4 degrees. So there are like little tricks here to try and obviously help you get the right answer, to avoid any misconception or confusion of when you work this out. There we go, 4 degrees. This next one, a bird is flying at 74 meters above sea level. A fish is swimming directly below the bird, 11 meters below sea level. Work out the distance between the bird and the fish. Well, if you think about it, actually, so you got 74 here, height wise. Then you're gonna go all the way down. Minus 11 will be there. You obviously got 0, which is there, let's say, which is going to be sea level. So to work out the distance, I'm going to do 74, subtract negative 11, for that. So that'll be 74 add 11, 74 plus 11, because the two negative signs there change the sign to a positive. 74 plus 11 will be 85. So it's 85 meters, between this distance and this distance, if that makes sense. So I'm all the way there, all the way down there, So that's how to work out, so it is obviously a bit careful. So a common answer would have been, 63, or even minus 63. You obviously work out the difference, and the difference in maths is usually always a positive whole number. There we go, 85 meters. This next one here is part of a bank statement. You've got money in, money out, balance. Now money out usually is called debit, and then obviously money in is called credit, if that makes sense. So money in essentially means your income or money that is going into the account, and money out means money spent on the account. So completely these statements should show the balance below. So I'm going to do minus 70 plus 30. So negative 70 plus 30. That's the same as saying 30 subtract 70. Either way, will give you the same answer, which gives you minus £40. Okay, or minus 40.00. Okay, and that would go inside there. Okay, there we go. This next one, the table shows the highest and lowest temperatures for cities in March. Work out the difference between the lowest temperature in Oslo and the lowest temperature in Stockholm. So lowest temperature in Oslo is -3, -8, so that should be 5 degrees. From -3 to -8, okay. Essentially, I'm doing -3 subtract -8. Okay, yeah, I'm essentially doing this sum, which becomes -3 plus 8. Okay, I'm starting with like the first one here, and then I'm subtracting, like the second number. If that makes sense. Again, -3 plus 8 is the same as saying 8 subtract 3, which is 5, guys. Okay, that 5 degrees. Okay, this next one, determine the city with the smallest range in temperature. Okay, so from here to here, that's 10 degrees difference. Okay, 7 subtract -3 becomes 10. 2 subtract -9 goes to 11. And 4 subtract -8 goes to 12 degrees. Okay, 4 plus 8, or 4 and 8 gives you 12. Okay, if you subtract a negative, you end up adding it. So that'll be Oslo. Okay. There we go. Okay, yeah, so that is like the full working. Okay, is what I said that verbally. Okay. This next one, at midday the temperature was -3 degrees. By midnight the temperature had fell by 8 degrees. Work out the temperature at midnight. So fell means, yeah, subtraction. So -3 subtract 8. So -3 subtract 8. So my answer is going to get smaller. So that'll be -11 or -11. Okay, degrees. Okay. It's gotten colder at midnight, therefore, yeah, the temperature will obviously be lower. Okay, the more negative a number is, the smaller the number is, if that makes sense. Okay, so -7, yeah, is classed as colder than -1. Okay, and so on and so forth. This next one, a hotel lift starts on floor 11 and descends to the car park on floor 3. Work out how many floors the lift has travelled. So 11 subtract -3. So 11 subtract -3. 11 add 3. So 11 add 3 is going to be 14. So it's travelled 14 floors. Okay, this hotel lift. Okay, or the hotel lift actually has 14 floors. This is the next question. It says circle the numbers from smallest to greatest. Okay, so we start from the smallest to largest. The smallest here would be -12. Okay, and then cross it off as we do it just to avoid confusion. Then it'd be -5 or -5. Then it'd be 0, 1, and 11. Okay, that's my answer for that one. There we go. Okay, this next one. A mountain is 1.3 kilometers above sea level. Temperatures decreases by 1 degrees for every 100 meters above sea level. Okay, so we've got to be very, very careful here. Work out the temperature at the top of the mountain when the temperature at the sea level is 6 degrees. So we're going to be very careful actually. Yeah. So first of all, let's just convert this into meters by times it by 1,000. So that'll be 1,300 meters or 1,300 meters, you could say. Okay, so it decreases by 1 for every 100 meters above the sea level. So that'll be, work at the temperature at the top of the mountain when the temperature at sea level is 6 degrees. So that'll be 6 lots of this, so that'll be 600 meters. Okay, because it's obviously 6 degrees. From 1 to 6 times it by 6, and then from here to here times that by 6. So I'll take it off at the top of the mountain. So I would actually take it off. So I'll do 1,300. Okay, subtract 600. So that'll be 700 meters. Okay, or 0.7 kilometers. Yeah, one of those. So it decreases over. Yes, that'll be minus 7 degrees. Okay, but yeah, because obviously it's 700 meters above the sea level, and it goes down by 1 degree every 100 meters. So in 700 meters, it goes down by 7 degrees. So the answer is minus 7 degrees, guys. So hopefully that makes sense. This next one, order the numbers from smallest to largest. Again, start with the smallest. So that'll be the smallest negative number. So minus 1.1. Then it'll be minus 0.7. Then minus 0.12. Okay, so this is all looking at what we call our place values. Okay, because that's the same as saying minus 0.70, and that's 1.10. Okay, essentially. Okay, then it'll be 0.23, then 0.4. Okay, look at your tenths column and then compare your tenths column with each other part. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Okay, there we go. This next one, here are 5 numbers. Okay, part A, find the range. So the range is the biggest, subtract the smallest. So it'll be 8. Okay, subtract the smallest, which would be minus 15. So 8 subtract negative 15. So being very careful here. That'll be 8 plus 15. So 8 add 15, which will be 23. So that's that one there. This next one, work out the median. I'll say the median, so that's obviously smallest to biggest. Obviously find the one in the middle. So minus 15, minus 12, minus 5, 6 and 8. Okay. So which number is in the middle in this list? So what we do here is we cross off either side. So the median is going to be minus 5. Okay, this next one, work out the mean. So I'm going to add up the 5 numbers and then divide it by 5. Okay, so being very careful actually here. So I've got minus 5 plus 6, that'll be 1. That'll be 9. 9 subtract 12 will be minus 3. And then minus 3 minus 15 will be minus 18. So it'll be minus 18 fifths. Yeah, and I'll leave it as that, yeah, just for the. Yeah, but if you're interested, that'll be equal to minus 3 and 3 fifths. So it'll be minus 3.6, guys. Okay, as a decimal, okay. But for the purpose of our video, I'll try and leave our answers in terms of fractional format. Okay, because that's a habit, yeah, that I want us to get used to, especially as we approach like A-level maths, yeah, in like the near future, yeah, and even GCSE further maths, yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, this next one, to work out the following, minus 10 plus 7, so think about on a number line, minus 10 plus 7, so that'll be minus 3. Okay, it's getting bigger. Negative 5 plus 7, that'll be equal to positive 2. Okay, because that's the same as saying 7 subtract 5, remember. So remember these like little tricks, guys. Yes, that's the same as saying 7 subtract 5. So positive 7 subtract 5 will be positive 2, guys. Okay, this next one, negative 5 add minus 7, or negative 5 add negative 7 is negative 5 subtract 7, so that'd be negative 12, guys. Okay, for that. There we go. Okay, this next one, to work out the following, 3 subtract 8, that'll be equal to minus 5, okay, on our number line. Negative 3 subtract 8 will be negative 11, guys. 3 subtract negative 8 becomes 3 plus 8, which goes to 11, guys. 3 add 8 is 11, okay? Again, if you're unsure, please do utilize a number line, okay, for this video. There we go. This next one again a bit more trickier now. So negative 1 plus negative 6 is negative 1 subtract 6, which is equal to minus 7 or negative 7. Negative 34 subtract 9 is going to be negative 43. Negative 3 subtract negative 12, that'll be negative 3 plus 12, or 12 subtract 3, okay, when you get to this step here, okay, which is equal to 9, guys, okay, on our number line, okay, it's equal to the number 9. Okay, there we go. Okay, so slightly more trickier now. Negative 30 plus 65. Well, in this context, that's same as saying 65 subtract 30. Okay, 5 take away 0 is going to be 5, and 6 take away 3 is going to be 3. So your answer will be positive 35. 400 subtract 600, will that be minus 200? Okay, this next one, minus 180, minus 270. So here, yeah, there's like a little trick here. I can do 180 plus 270 and then just stick a minus sign at the front, okay? And I'll stick a minus sign at the front. And then we put a minus sign at the front. 0 add 0 is going to be 0. 8 add 7 is going to be 15, so 5. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is going to be 4. Okay, put the minus sign back at the front. So your answer is negative 450 or minus 450. Okay, there we go. Okay, so slightly more tricky examples here. So taking our time here and using BidMaths as well. So I'll do 8 subtract 10 first, which will be minus 2. So minus 2 add minus 5 will be minus 2 subtract 5, which will be minus 7. Okay, because here I've got addition and subtraction, like here, they're what we call like the same level of importance in BidMaths. So I can just work from left to right, okay, yeah, just like save me hassle. Okay, negative 4 plus 1 is going to be negative 3. Negative 3 subtract 9 is going to be negative 12, guys, yeah, so being very careful here. This next one, 7 subtract 23 is negative 16. Negative 16 subtract negative 16 will be negative 16 plus 16, which will be equal to 0, guys. Okay, so being very careful there. Okay, this part here gives you minus 16. Okay, and then I'm subtracting negative 16. Okay, which goes to a positive. There, okay, and similarly here, that gave me negative 3, and then I did negative 3 subtract 9, guys. Yeah, so sorry if I'm actually jumping a step here, but hopefully you can forgive me, okay, because I'm trying to class this as like a revision video, okay, to condense it in as short as time as possible. Okay, so this next one, okay, a bit more trickier, complete the calculations. So 10 subtract 11 is negative 1. Now, to get this box here, I would do 10 subtract negative 1. That will give me the answer in this box here. Okay, this next one, a bit more trickier. So something add minus 6 is minus 19. Or something subtract 6 is equal to minus 19. So if I do minus 19 plus 6, is equal to minus 13. Okay, and you can check your answer on like a calculator if you so wish. Okay, but if you add a negative, you end up subtracting it. So it's minus 13, subtract 6, which gives me minus 19. This next one here, I do negative 5, subtract something is equal to 12. So being very careful here. So I'm actually going to subtract negative 17. Okay, and the reason for that actually, because if I rearrange this, so I bring this box here and I bring this to this side, then I get minus 5 minus 12, okay, is equal to the box, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it's equal to the unknown box. Now that gives you minus 17, so the box is equal to minus 17. Okay, yeah, if you rearrange that. Okay, yeah. So essentially, yeah, it's like solving, like a 1 or 2 step equation, involving a negative, but being very careful. Okay. For this one here, essentially, if you add this as your box here, and then you subtract this, then you get 10 subtract negative 1, which is going to be 10 plus 1, which gives you 11. Okay, for that one. Okay. There we go. Here are 4 numbers. We've got 6, 7, minus 6, and minus 7. How many ways can you use the numbers to make the calculation true? So how many ways can you? So I can do minus 7. Oh no, sorry. Minus 6 minus 7. I can do 7 subtract 6. Okay. So I think they are the only 2 ways, guys, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I can't do minus 7 plus 7 because that'll go to 0. Or minus 7 plus 6, that'll give minus 1. Or 7. Yeah, so that'll be 2 ways, if that makes sense. So it's 2 ways. There we go. Okay, this next one's looking at multiplying with negative numbers now. So work out minus 2 times 7. So a negative times a positive. The sign of my answer will be a negative. So it'll be negative 40. Okay, this next one, I'll do 5 times 10, which is going to be 50. And then, it's going to be a negative 50 because a positive times a negative makes a negative, guys. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. This next one, a negative times a negative makes a positive, so the answer is going to be just positive 12, okay, or just 12, okay. Negative 4 times negative 3 makes positive 12 or plus 12. Okay, so dividing now, So minus 30 divided by 6, that will give you to minus 5, okay? Because a negative divided by positive gives a negative. This next one, a positive divided by a negative will give you a negative. And negative divided by negative is going to give you a positive, okay? So if the signs are the same and I'm multiplying or dividing, the answer of my sign will be positive. And if the signs are different, then the answer is going to be negative, okay? Yeah, or the sign of my answer will be negative. Okay. Okay, so this next one, okay, so complete the calculations. So 6 times 3 is 18, but we want minus 18, so I've got to put a minus sign at the front. Okay, so 70 divided by 10 is equal to 7. However, 70 divided by minus 10 gives you minus 7, so I'm going to put a minus sign at the front there to keep it positive for the answer. Okay, here, being a bit more careful. So I'll divide by 3 first of all. Let's just obviously work backwards. Okay. So I'll have something. Subtract 7 is equal to minus 5. Then if I add 7 to both sides, yeah, but the empty box is equal to 2, guys. So it's equal to 2. Okay, that makes sense because using BIDMAS, I'll do brackets first. 2 subtract 7 will be minus 5 or negative 5. And 3 lots of negative 5 is negative 15. Okay. This next one, here are 4 numbers. How many ways can you use number to make the calculation true? So I can do 8 divided by minus 2, or minus 8 divided by 2. Okay, so there are 2 ways to make this calculation true. Okay, for that. Okay, there we go. Okay, this next one's looking at some substitution now. So order the expressions from the smallest to the greatest when x equals negative 1. Okay, so being very careful here. So 4 times negative 1, that will be negative 4. Okay, 10 subtract negative 1, well, that'll be 10 plus 1, that'll be 11. 10 divided by minus 1 will be minus 10. Minus 1 plus 10 will equal to 9. 4 lots of negative 1 will be negative 4. Subtract 1 and I'll get minus 5. Okay. Right, guys, so smallest to biggest. So it'd be 10 over x first. Okay. Then it'd be 4x subtract 1. Then it'd be 4x. Then it'll be x plus 10. Then it'll be 10 minus x, okay? So again, I appreciate that I've gone through this pretty quickly, but hopefully you can forgive me, okay? But yeah, it's just obviously substituting negative numbers into an algebraic expression. Yeah, so it's substitution, into expressions we call it, okay? That's my answer for that question. Okay, there we go. Okay, work out the following. So negative 42 divided by 7, well, that'll be negative 6 because the signs are different. 30 subtract negative 5 will be 30 plus 5, so that'll be 35 on the top, okay, because I'm subtracting a negative, so the sign becomes an addition. 35 divided by 5 is equal to 7, guys. Okay, this next one, negative 16 subtract 8 is going to be negative 24. 2 subtract 8 is going to be negative 6. Negative 4 divided by negative 6 is going to equal to the number 4, guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, this next one, so being careful actually, so using BIDMAS this time. Okay, I'll do the multiplication first. So 8 times 3 is going to be 24. So 4 subtract 24 is going to be minus 20. Okay. This next one, so being very clever here with my division, I'm doing negative 60 divided by 15, so that'll be minus 4 plus 9. Okay, that's going to equal to positive 5 on our number line. Okay, this next one here, I'm going to do the brackets first. So minus 7 subtract 3 is going to be negative 10. So I'm going to have 2 lots of negative 10, which is equal to negative 20 or minus 20. Okay. So remember, in this context, we are remembering the acronym BIDMAS, okay, or BODMAS, or PEMDAS, okay, brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Okay, there we go. Okay, so some wordy questions now, guys. So, Alexa and Eva are playing a game with a following point system. So, if they win, they get 5 points. If they lose, they lose 3 points. So they played 10 games. Alex won 6 games and Eva won the rest. Work out the difference between their final scores. So 6 games. So Alex would have got 6 lots of 5. So 6 times 5 is equal to 30. Okay. And obviously 10 take away 6 is 4. So Eva won, or Eva played 4 games, should I say. So 4 lots of 5 is 20. 30 subtract 20 is equal to 10. So they got the answer of 10. Okay. Oops, 16 actually. Okay, I think I made a mistake. I think it is actually a mistake actually, because it shouldn't be like it is meant to be 10, not 16 actually. So I think it's a mistake there. So ignore that. Okay. They played obviously 10 games here, so 10 games was shared between 6 and 4. Okay, so Alex won 6, yeah, which obviously gets 30 points. Okay, and Eva won the rest, so Eva won 4 games, so 4 times 5 is going to be 20, so 30 take away 20 is going to be 10, so that's obviously a mistake there. Okay, this next one, so find the next 2 terms in the sequence. So I'm subtracting 5 each time, so that'll be minus 7. Then it'd be minus 12. Okay, I'm subtracting 5 each time. Here, be very careful, guys. Yeah, here I'm actually adding 4 each time. Okay, so that's going to be negative 7 minus 11 plus 4 is going to be negative 7. Add 4 again, and I'll get negative 3. Yeah, so the sequence here is getting bigger and bigger actually, because it's getting closer and closer to 0. This next one, I'm subtracting 6 each time. So let's just put that on there so you can see that. That'll be negative 2. And then that'll be negative 8. Okay. So this first one, I'm subtracting 5 each time. For the second one, I'm adding 6. I think I made a mistake here, so it should be adding 6 each time. Sorry, that's my fault there. Okay. So it should actually be minus 5 there. I apologise. That was my mistake. So minus 5, and then that'll be equal to positive 1. So minus 5 and 1 there. Sorry if you can't actually see that very well. So minus 5 and then positive 1. Okay, we're adding 6 each time for the second one. Okay, there we go. So this next one, okay, work out the missing terms. The sequence is a bit more trickier this time. Okay, so every 2 jumps, okay, we're subtracting 22. Okay, and the reason for that is because if you look here, 16 subtract negative 6 is going to be 16 plus 6, which is equal to 22. But obviously, the number is obviously getting smaller, so I'm actually subtracting 22. So I'm going to subtract 11, so that'll be 5 there, and that'll be minus 17 there. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, this next one, so being very careful actually. Yeah, so I'm actually subtracting 5 each time. So going backwards, I'm going to be adding 5. 3 plus 5 is going to be 8, and 8 plus 5 is going to be 13. Okay, this next one is a bit more trickier. So minus 14 to 4. Well, that is going to be adding 18, but obviously that's 2 jumps for 18. So I'm going to be adding 9 each time. So that'll be 13 there. And that'll be negative 5 there. Okay. That. Okay, this next one, so again, more substitution. Work out the value of 2p plus 10 when p is minus 4 and q is negative 9. So I'm going to have 2 lots of minus 4. So that'll be minus 8. Minus 8 plus 10 is going to be positive 2. Okay. So minus 8 plus 10 is going to be positive 2. Okay, this next one, I'm going to have 3 lots of negative 9. And then I'm going to be subtracting negative 4. So that's same as adding 4, okay, because minus p would be equal to positive 4 in this context. If p is equal to minus 4, then negative p is equal to positive 4, okay, by definition. Because you're subtracting minus 4. So that'd be minus 27 plus 4 now equal to minus 23, guys. Okay, this last one, p squared, so that'd be negative 4 all squared. Actually, I'll put it in brackets. Okay, so negative 4 times negative 4, okay, will be positive 16. Okay, if you square a negative, you will always get a positive, okay, provided that we have brackets around the negative number, okay. And there's a reason we have brackets there, because if you enter it without brackets on your calculator, then it gives you minus 16, okay, yeah, but with brackets, it makes it clear that we are doing bid maths. Okay, there we go. Okay, so some more tricky examples now. So z squared plus 10, so that'll be 100 plus 2, so that'll be 102 for that one. Okay, yeah, because if you square minus 10, you get positive 100. Okay, so minus 10 times 5 squared, well, that'll be minus 10 times 25. Okay, because minus 5 squared, yeah, is going to be 25. So that'll be minus 250 for that one. Okay, this last one's a bit more trickier, so taking our time. So this part here will give us 25y squared. Okay, times it by z, so that'll give us minus 250. This part. And then being careful, I'm subtracting xz squared. So that'll be 100 times by 3, yeah, that'll be 300. So I'm going to be very careful here. So I'm doing minus 250 subtract 300, guys. Okay. Again, sorry that I've done it in that one big step there, but essentially I've just obviously substituted it in. Okay. We have 3 lots of 10 squared. or minus 10 squared. Okay, if you work this out, it will give you 300, and then obviously I'm actually subtracting it because of that minus sign there, okay, at the front. So that give me minus 550, guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, so last few now, yeah, for today's video. Yes, sorry, it's quite a long video, guys, but hopefully you can forgive me. Okay, so g cubed, that's minus 2 all cubed, which would be minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2. Okay, so that'll be minus 8. Okay, this next one, k cubed plus g squared. Well, k cubed is going to be minus 4 all cubed. That'll be minus 64. So minus 4 all cubed plus minus 2 all squared. Okay, again, yeah, it's obviously good practice to obviously be happy with, like, your squaring cube numbers. Okay, so negative 64 there, and then plus 4 is minus 60. This next one, okay, g squared m cubed. Well, m cubed will be minus 1. G squared is equal to positive 4. So we have 4 lots of minus 1, which is equal to minus 4. Okay, there we go. Right, so last few examples. Yeah, so substitute it into a formula. Okay, you work out the value of h when a is minus 5. So on the top, we're going to have 4 lots of negative 5 all squared. All divided by 15, subtract negative 5. Okay, so hopefully you're happy with your negative numbers here at this stage of the video. Okay, minus 5 is going to be 25 actually, so 25 times 4 is going to be 100. Divide that by, well, that'll be 15 plus 20. Sorry, 15 plus 5 actually, which gives you 20, sorry. 100 divided by 20 is going to equal to the number 5. So h equals 5 when a is equal to minus 5. Okay, again, that is substituting into a formula, and that is a very, very big topic here as part of the GCSE 921 year like maths curriculum here, as well as Key Stage 3 maths, even Key Stage 2 as well. Yeah, so make sure that you're happy with substitution, guys. It's a big part of the algebra course, for GCSE 921 maths, for higher tier and for foundation. Okay, this next one, so again, more substitution. Yeah, so last one here for today's video. So the last example for today's video, we're gonna have q is equal to 6. Oh, sorry, actually, I'm gonna give us here. So I'm gonna work out the value of n. Sorry, so we have minus 6. Sorry, we have minus 2 is equal to 6 lots of n plus 8. All over 15 actually, so it requires a bit of rearranging to work out what n is. So I'm going to multiply through by 15 first, so that will be minus 30 on the right hand side is equal to 6 lots of n plus 8. Okay, I'm going to divide both sides by 6 to get rid of this 6 to the front here. So divide both sides of my equation by 6. Okay, we get negative 5 is equal to 6n plus 8 all over 6, which just becomes n plus 8. I'm now going to subtract 8 on both sides to balance the equation respectively. Okay, on both sides I'm balancing the scales. Okay, I get minus 13 is equal to n Therefore, n is equal to minus 13. Okay, that's the value of my answer. Okay, again, this time it's kind of giving you like the final answer, and you have to work out like the initial condition. Yeah, so yeah, it requires a bit of rearranging. Okay, so yeah, so first of all, I multiplied 3 by 15, and then I divided by 6, and then I subtracted the 8. Normally, this to be here, actually, I do normally expand the bracket, but I just thought, yeah, obviously divide by 6, yeah, because obviously 30 is a factor of 6. Sorry, 30 is a multiple of 6. Sorry. Okay. To make it obviously a bit easier for me, rather than expand the bracket, yeah, and obviously doing it that way. But if you did expand the bracket, actually, then you get as follows. You'd get minus 30 is equal to 6n plus 48. Okay, if you expanded it, subtract 48 on both sides. Okay, to balance the equation respectively on both sides, so balancing the scales. Okay, I get minus 78 or negative 78 is equal to 6n. Divide both sides through by the 6, okay, then you get that n is equal to 13, or minus 13, I should say. Okay, and that will obviously be your final answer. Okay, so yeah, so substituting in the values of q and t and rearrange it to make n the subject, okay, of my equation. Okay, there's my final answer. Okay, right guys, that's the end of today's longest video. Yeah, looking obviously direct numbers, yeah, so negative numbers, so adding and subtracting, multiplying, dividing negative numbers. Hopefully you found it useful, hopefully you found it informative. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all inside the next video. Okay, thank you so much for taking time to actually watch my video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye for now, take care guys, all the best.